Get that situated here. We are now live. Hello, YouTube.
Hello.
And hello, Instagram. Hi, everybody. I'm here, obviously, with my very good friend, Amber Coleman.
It's been too long.
It's been way too long, as usual. We do try to do these updates from, once a week, but, life gets busy. You guys keep us busy. You definitely keep us busy. So
we love you for it.
We love you, definitely. So we just thought it'd be fun to kind of come on today and give a few updates about real estate, but we don't have to talk about real estate. We can talk about whatever you want. We're definitely here. We're available to answer your questions. The biggest thing I have to share is that it's freaking snowing outside our window right now.
Yeah, there was just flurries. Have you seen?
There's flurries all behind us.
And there's snowy flurries.
Yeah.
Plus, did you notice the mountains today too? When I was driving here, I'm like, is that snow?
It's just snow, rain, all kinds of stuff. So check in with our friends here on YouTube and our friends over here on Instagram. So drop a question. We'll be checking back and forth between Instagram and YouTube just to answer your questions, literally about anything. We love you guys. We're so excited that you're here. It's the middle of the week, 2/23/22. Palindrome week, right? So it's the same forwards and backwards for all 5 days of the week.
I'm still trying to figure out what that means.
So if it's two,
like, is it a physical thing, or is it
what it means to us?
Yeah,
I don't know what
I'm trying to figure out what it means.
If any of you know what this means, what palindrome week is supposed to mean for us from an energy perspective, we would love to hear. But at the end of the day, I just thought we would talk. There's been a lot of news related to Ukraine and Russia and rates and inflation and the sky is falling, the world is falling. And I just thought it'd be a good chance to give people an opportunity to ask what they want to ask about Vegas, or just in general, just share what their thoughts are.
Yeah, no, it's great.
So
I love it.
We were talking a little bit about, like how the Ukraine conversation, which I'm not smart enough to really even talk about. Like, I feel stupid even saying it. I'm not knowledgeable enough, I should say. But, really wanted to talk about, the fact that it's been in the news so much, and that now that's going to be affecting gas prices, and gas prices are going to affect this. And there's this long line of trickle effect. But you had some interesting information about that when it relates to specifically to buying houses and rates.
Well, so right now, rates have been going up, right? Because of inflation. So inflation's at 40-year highs. So the feds have to take measures to make rates go higher, right? So what I was thinking about, and I actually turned on the news.
Amber does not watch the news.
I haven't watched the news for over a year. I constantly read about the financial markets, but I never watch the news because I don't want opinions one side or the other. I just want the facts.
Yeah, it's hard to get the facts
just give me the
anywhere
facts.
These days, even
so
online.
The news, I figure, doesn't give you facts. They just give you opinions. But I did actually turn it on.
Okay.
And trying to take out all the opinions of it, what caught my attention is gas prices. So what I heard that day is that gas prices could go for what they're estimating is $6 to $7 a gallon. And I don't know if they're talking about like California, where gas prices are already $1 higher.
Wherever it's highest, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So it could be there, but that's what caught my attention. And then I remember back. You remember that horrible downturn of the economy that we went through?
I do remember that horrible downturn of the economy. Do you remember the horrible downturn of the economy? Is the real question.
So I remember that. I remember that part, where downturn of the economy started, and when gas prices hit record highs at that point, it broke our backs.
Yeah.
I was in a place where I was.
That was when it all came tumbling down.
Yeah, I was in a place at that time where I was like, I literally can't afford my power bill.
Right.
Because everything was just hitting you all at once, right? So then I was starting to think, okay, so if gas prices hit record levels, we could be going into a place where the feds can't raise rates anymore because it will break our backs. And they're kind of on a tightrope right now.
Yeah. So I know that you talked to me about how on an hour-to-hour basis, you guys are watching the rates go up and down. And flip and do
I mean, you're doing the same if you're doing stocks. Stocks are all over the place right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's definitely, I don't like using the word scary or crazy. We try to stay away from that, and we use those words anyway. But, because who knows what that even means anymore, right? Is this the new normal? I don't know. But I do think it's interesting, though, that the thought that there's a possibility that this big conversation that they've been having about how rates are going to go up and rates are going up, which they are, they've clicked up. They've absolutely clicked up. Doesn't mean you still can't afford to buy a house. Doesn't mean things are all bad. But what's really nuts to me is that now there's a possibility, there's this tiny little whisper of, well, if they do that, and that follows through to the level that they've been claiming it might do, it's actually going to do the reverse effect. It's going to have a worse effect on us. So you said that they just can't at that point. They have to make the better decision.
Yeah. So we're going to see, because we do have inflation. We have all these other things happening too. So the feds are on a tightrope right now.
Yeah.
Because if they do too little, they're going to get blamed for it, which they already kind of are when they said it was transitory and stuff like that. When it was going, it's kind of already there. And then if they do too much, raising it too high, then recession hits. So they're on this tightrope right now that we see.
I would hate to be an elected official right now, like
I know,
anybody in the Fed, like making these decisions.
Yeah, and that's because I was listening to an economist yesterday, and that's what he was saying. Like, inflation is a hard place for an elected official, because if inflation happens on their watch, then that's bad.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a hard thing to do right now. But the other interesting thing that I heard yesterday too about this stuff, so it kind of just makes me wonder. There's a couple things. So CoreLogic, and there was a couple other readings that put out readings. They were saying that they think rates are going to kind of cap around, like, one of them said 3.875, one of them said 4% this year. So like, rates aren't, it's not too crazy. We're just out of COVID rates right now.
Right. Well, and COVID rates were something that we had never seen in the history of anything ever.
Yeah, that was only because we were in COVID, and then there had to be something that re-stimulated it.
3.75, 4 is kind of where we were a couple years ago, right? Ish.
It's right back to where it was before COVID started.
Okay.
And which that was a crazy market too, because those are still record low rates right there too. So that's kind of what like CoreLogic, I think they're the ones that put out around 4% is where they were estimating it to. Now these are guesses,
right? But it's a good baseline to kind of keep in mind.
Yeah,
isn't it funny how quickly we get spoiled?
We get spoiled really fast.
Quickly. Even if the rates were like for 1 month at the rates, the COVID rates that you said, like, there would be people stomping their feet and running around saying, "This is ridiculous. I can't believe it's gone up." Like, it's like, we got 2 years of those rates, guys. Like, hello.
We got really spoiled for a long time.
So really, at this point, what the experts seem to be saying is we're leaning more towards sort of the pre-COVID rates, which are still amazing rates. So it's not 13% that my parents paid back in the day. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that. 23% I think they paid, actually. So
yeah, I looked up 40 years ago what rates were when inflation hit that record. It was 21%. We're in a good place right now.
Let's all take a deep breath, my friends. So all right, well, good. Well, so I guess that's kind of the update when it comes to rates. If you have any questions regarding that, again, drop your questions in the comments. I'll do a little scan here and a little scan here to see what's going on. Hey, Tyson, we've got some people here on our YouTube. Pardon me, we've got Mike Markowitz. Hey, bud, how are you? We miss you. It's really cold where you are. I know that. And then Tyson said it's 8 degrees in Washington. Tyson, it's like 8 degrees here. It's freaking snowing in Las Vegas. What the hell? I'm seeing flurries go by.
When it hits 40 here, it feels like 8.
It's ridiculous. We're not used to it. Yeah. So as it relates, I'll just talk briefly about, the housing market and what we're seeing. I'm going to pull up some of my stats over here. I'm working with kind of live data right now as we look at what's available. Do you have a question?
And yeah, let me ask you a question really fast, because I had a client say to me this week, that's looking at houses and buying houses, and they were saying that they've seen a little bit more on the rental market. Have you seen more on the rental market?
No, I haven't. And I almost swallowed my tongue when you said that. Sorry, I had to take a minute.
On the rental market.
It's not pretty. The inventory is as low as I've ever seen it. It's
just clarifying that.
Very difficult. I don't say that in jest. I say that painfully smiling through this, because we don't want anybody to ever feel like they're required to buy. We do want to see you buy, because we want to see you invest in your future, of course, and all that. But no, I don't know where those clients are looking. I think that they're wishful thinking. I love them. I appreciate whatever they're doing, but hell no, there is not an ounce of good news.
Thought I would clarifty that.
In fact,
you're looking at these markets.
So we're down still in the number of units rented, because 12.5% just 1 year ago to now, because there's not enough homes. So we're down in the number of units rented because there's no homes to rent. Like, there's no inventory to rent. We're also seeing the average price for residential rentals soar. So on average, the trend is 20.2% year over year, 20% on average across the board, which is that's a steep number when you look at a city like Las Vegas, where people are tip earners, and it's a lot of service industry folks who don't necessarily make $200,000 a year, $150,000 a year. They're rubbing those pennies together to warm them up and make it work, right? So 20% can kill you, And so it's so good to see so many of our clients who once were renting or have only rented almost be pushed to have to look into buying. And how beautiful is that? We've seen people save hundreds of dollars a month in their payment from what they would pay to rent to pay for their own mortgage.
Buying, and then you own your own life. You don't have to worry about your payment going up.
You can paint that wall green. You can paint it periwinkle, whatever you want. So
and build that equity too. Isn't it crazy? What's beautiful to me is when I look at my clients that I closed last year, and I'm like, whoa, the equity that people have gained is crazy. Is beautiful. Yeah. Because it changes your life.
It does. And, and it doesn't mean it's not, for the buyers of this market today, that definitely is a tougher pill to swallow, right? Because we see a lot of you guys trying to get that deal, And I have to be very open. we do our best to educate you, but at the end of the day, everyone still sees us as salespeople, and they assume we're going to say anything, which makes no sense to me because that's not how I run my business. I know that's not how you run your business, but there's inevitably that malaise of people who just they just think that we're just here to make a sale. I don't care if you buy a house now or ever. I just don't. I want you to because I wanted you to do it for you. I also don't care if you use me as your realtor. I want you to because I feel that my team is best qualified to serve you, just like Amber does. But at the end of the day, we're just here to educate you. But even though we say those things, even though we put it out there that we're here for you, we're here for you, we're here for you, we still have clients come through the door who want to work with us, who still don't believe us, who still think, oh, you're just saying this because you want to make money. You're just trying to get me to spend more money so you make more money. And it's just so disheartening because not only do we see them waste their time writing offers where they're trying to get a deal and they're writing offers that are below the list price, or they're not being competitive, they're wasting everyone's time, including ours. It's heartbreaking because I see people falling in love with these homes and then get self-sabotaging the experience by not being competitive because they don't want to believe us. And it takes them 4 or 5 times going through that before they finally say, I give, you're right. We believe you. So please believe us today and let us know that we are giving you the straight hard facts. I'm looking at raw data right now. For single family homes, it is a little bit of a bittersweet pill for buyers right now because you're seeing the rates climb and you are seeing the process of what it means to actually have to be a little bit competitive. It's not fun. We get it. But we try to make it fun, and we try to work with Amber and her team to really come up with strategies so that it's not so much of a pill, and it's really more of an exciting experience and a celebration. So yeah, I'm just gonna read through some of these numbers just so you guys can believe me.
Okay, I'm excited to hear them. Let's do it.
Okay, let's see. So number of available units year over year. This is just number of available units without offers. Hold on, without offers. With offers is 20% down year over year. Why is it down?
From last year?
Mm-hmm. Why is it down? Because there's not enough homes. There's less homes on the market now than there were then.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
20%. Let me find some pricing. Average price of new listings on the home, and this is single family residential. We are up 22.2% year over year.
And that's from 2021 at this time. So February
during
2021.
COVID. Yeah. The median price, 27.6% up year over year. And the months of effective inventory. So this is what I was saying before. We have less homes available to buy and rent, so much so that it's 19% down year over year. We are 19% down in the amount of homes available to you. And we have an influx of new people moving here. 138 people moving here every day, I think it is, or something like that.
So our break in December is no longer a break.
It's no longer a break.
We're back to spring buying season right now.
Yes,
Welcome
absolutely.
spring, early.
Welcome spring with snow, by the way. So I'm saying those things just to help everybody realize, time is of the essence. If you really do want to take advantage of the fact that, you can buy, please do it and do it soon. Do not wait for the market to crash. Do not wait for the bubble to burst. Do not wait for the prices to go down. It's not going to happen. As long as we have no inventory and low inventory, prices will continue to rise. As long as we have no inventory and low inventory, an influx of people moving here because of our great tax rates, because of our amazing infrastructure, because I'm telling you all about the rad stuff to do around Las Vegas, and all of those things continue to grow and get better. I went to a cool new hotel 2 days ago that's opening downtown, boutique hotel.
Oh yeah.
Todd English is the owner and one of the owners and founders, and he has a new restaurant down there. Like, stuff like that's happening every day in Las Vegas. Cool stuff like that happens every single day.
Las Vegas gal.
And
She's
I'm here telling you
all
all of these things that are happening, and no additional homes hitting the market. You're going to see continual prices going up. So the sooner you buy,
when they come in and try to rent, and rents are
they
so
can't
high,
rent, then they move over to buying.
So that all of that trickles into the market. Right?
And the good news that you just shared, and we don't know if that's going to happen or not, but the possibility of, God forbid, if the recession does occur, and who knows now with the Ukraine stuff and with gas and all of those things, if and when that does happen, there may be a momentary pause of, we can't do anything else with the rates, which might give a little bit of a reprieve. So it would be good for home buyers, right?
Yeah. And keep in mind, whenever we say recession, a lot of people are like, ooh, I remember, because that was a housing crisis last time.
That wasn't a typical recession.
It wasn't a typical recession. Most of the time during recessions, you're going to see rates get a little bit better. And so it's not the same as what you saw last time.
So I'm going to share some numbers as well, just so we can give you guys just raw data again. Okay, so average price of new listings on the market. This is just single family residential. I'm not going to talk condos or anything like that. The average price is $589,220. Is that right? Latest period.
Are you kidding me?
$589,220. No, that can't be right. Hold on. Am I looking at it right? Look, average price Just making sure I'm looking at this data correct. Average price new listings, 589,220 for the latest period. Prior period 559, and last year was 482. Is that right? Trailing 12 months. That seems right.
It seems
It's what it says. Median price is 458. Yeah, because we usually work off of median.
Price.
That's
okay,
why.
so we're always going off of.
So 458 is the median price of new listings for single family homes, which is up 27%. There are still homes available underneath that. You do have to fight very hard for them, but they are available. There are still homes above that available, but that's the reality. Those are the numbers we're working with. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So that's what we're talking about today. I'm definitely going to pop over here to our YouTube channel to see if we've got some questions coming in. We just want to be able to be here for you and answer your questions. So if you have questions, drop them in the Instagram and also over here on YouTube. Let me pop over here and see what's what. Rodney says, was not prepared for the cold weather here in Vegas. Brr. I know, right, Rodney? This is so nuts. I wasn't prepared either. I'm trading in the snow for sand, and I'm leaving for the beach today because I'm over it. This can go to hell. I'm not okay with this. It was 77 degrees 7 days ago.
It was beautiful outside.
7 days ago, it was 77
Honestly,
degrees.
I love seeing the mountains get packed with snow, though, right now.
I do not. Mike Markowitz says it was 60 degrees yesterday where he is, so that's cool.
Oh, that's not bad.
Kurt Johnson said, what's the average income to qualify for a home loan and the average credit score to qualify? What is the job market like in Vegas and the crime rate? So I'll give you the first two. What's the average income that you would recommend, an average score? I know everybody's different. We have to always talk about that.
Well, yeah, and it's going to be different depending on your debt to income ratio, the bill, which means the bills that you currently have right now.
That's a good point.
So I can't say that there's really an average income to qualify for a home loan. What you make is what we're going to see how much you qualify for. And then also subtract your bills from it, and then we're going to get you qualified that way. So hopefully that answered your question.
There's not really an average numbers we can work with, but I would say, can we talk about what the credit scores are? So like credit scores, I know that a lot of the loan programs have lowered their requirement, right?
Oh yeah. So credit scores, like if you're going to do FHA, and remember on FHA, you're limited to 435 purchase price and 3.5% down.
Right.
So you're looking at a loan amount of like 420 in Clark County. So if you're going to do FHA, you can go down to 540 if you have 10% down.
Wow.
580 if you have 3.5% down. 620 gives you kind of a better rate with 3.5% down. And then grants start usually at around 640.
Wow. So in order to take advantage of grants, you try to be at the mid 600s to qualify.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
really
and on
good. Conventional, you can go down to 620 as well. Conventional does like to see, like they put you through an automated, which everybody does, put you through an automated system. But when you go through the automated system conventional, they're looking at a lot more things. So they do like to see longevity on credit, and they like to see higher FICO scores. So nothing late, nothing derogatory in the last 12 months. So, but that's when we talk, we can go through all of what you have, like your income, your debt ratio, your credit scores, run you through the systems and see which programs works best for you.
Good question, Kurt. Thank you.
Yeah, that was a great question.
I love that. Also, he asked, what's the job market like in Vegas and the crime rate? I'm not a crime expert, so I'm not even going to quote that, but you can go to LVMPD, Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. They've got all kinds of really great crime stats and crime maps and things like that. I highly recommend that you look at that, especially when, and also look at that, but keep in mind, we are a normal city. So looking at a blanket statement about Las Vegas when it comes to crime rates is not necessarily fair because we have so many different pockets that we serve within Las Vegas. So that's when you can talk to us and we can kind of help you define what you're looking for in terms of your lifestyle, where you might want to live. And then you can do your research on, okay, now let me look at crime rates over here versus over there. So you can start to compare and contrast areas of town. My nose is itching. It's allergies. Snow. I'm allergic to snow. And the job market, I see a lot of opportunity here in Las Vegas with more and more businesses.
There's still a lot of open jobs, right?
Yeah, with more and more businesses moving into the city, with a lot of people still in employment. I know some of it has ended, but a lot of people still sitting on unemployment. Opportunities are boundless. In fact, it surprises me when people can sit at home and do nothing for a year and have no income and not want to work because there's so much opportunity. Why would you not want to compound that opportunity, take advantage, climb the ladder while you can, start sooner rather than later, and get ahead of it while others are maybe sitting back taking advantage of the situation. So,
but because the city's grown so much too, there's just more jobs or
businesses move here every single day. Yeah. So and obviously remote jobs too are really becoming such a great thing. So come one, come all, Kurt, bring it. Matt says, how many new build permits are here in Vegas? Well, that's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. Do you know?
I don't know the answer. It's a good question. We should look it up.
I
Thanks
think
for bringing it up.
yeah, thank you, Matt. I think they pull new
We should
permits
probably
for
do
new
something on
building.
builder stuff.
Yeah,
like,
they pull new builder permits all the time. So I don't know that that's ever like a solid number. I feel, I don't know. I could be totally wrong. Matt says, I assume people aren't selling because of fear of getting sick, living on equity from the cash out of a refi or stimulus and getting loan deferred. To be honest, Matt, yes, those could all be opportunities as to why people may not be selling. But I think the number one thing that's stopping people from selling their home right now is where are they going to go? So if I live in a home, let's say I bought for 200,000 and it's now worth 400,000, and I'm sitting on this home and I could make solidly a $200,000, just round numbers, right? I've got 200 grand to play with. I could put all that money down on a house and just level up and grow and do all these things without inventory, and also with people who don't maybe want to step up that far, or people who don't want to step down. With the prices rising, the home that they could qualify for is often similar to what they're already living in, based on that, or not enough of a difference for them to go through that process. So it's really interesting to see the decision-making process that people are going through when it comes to selling their homes. If you're a seller who can downsize right now, you are in good shape. Like, this is what you need to be doing. But if you're a seller who needs to be in the similar type home or bigger, it's definitely putting a pinch on those people and making them have to rethink it. So it's changed the decision-making process a lot. It's changed our strategy with how we help people understand truly what's possible for them. And it's just been an educational process, to say the least, in the last year.
It's a different market than we've ever been through before.
Absolutely. Jim West says, hey, hello, Jim. How are you? And Chris M says, my credit score is 790. What will that get me? Depends on what your debt to income is. Congratulations.
Good job on your credit score.
790.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So how a loan works is you're going to look at credit, which you've A+ on credit. Good job right there. Income and assets. So you're going to look at all three of those things equally. So just because you have a 720 credit score doesn't mean you can buy whatever you want. We have to look and see what you make and what your debt ratio can fit as far as what you can afford in a house. So we'll look at all of those things.
Nice. Good answer. DTLV in Vegas. Hey, bud. How are you? Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. Is there limitations of how much your property you can expand? How much property you can expand your house? Can the house be 100% off the ground? I don't know the answer to that question. Can your house float? Like on stilts?
You mean like have it on stilts?
Yeah, probably. I think it's just about pulling the proper permits.
Depends on where you're gonna. I mean, we don't see that a lot here, just because of like how houses are built.
Right.
Not usually
they're built with the what is it called? So something tension foundation. I can't think of the word right now, but I don't think there's limitations to how much of your property that you can expand at all. As long as you have the land, why wouldn't you do that? I think that's awesome. And if you want to put your money into your home, do it. But I do not know about on stilts or not. I don't know if they post tension.
Unless you're talking about like a manufactured property.
Oh, that's a good point.
So if you're talking about a manufactured property, then we would just have to convert it into real property. For the loan part of it.
What a good question.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is Spring Valley a good family area? Heaven sent 00119 something. It went too fast. Spring Valley is a great area. There's great family stuff to do right in the center of town. It's the Spring Valley, just so you guys know, is the first master plan community in Las Vegas. So this was the first development that was happening, one of the first developments that was happening when the city kind of became legitimized and families were moving here, and a lot of military families
in the
and things
80s,
like that
right?
in the 80s. Awesome. Yeah. I love Spring Valley. It's amazing. Definitely some older areas, definitely some less polished areas, but way more land. And it's great. I like Spring Valley a lot. Good for families. It's just about what's your family's goal is the real question. You know what I mean? Like, so if your family is doing homeschooling and you work from home and, you care a lot about being able to take advantage of stuff in Chinatown because there's so many great food opportunities there, then Spring Valley is great for you. But it depends on what you're looking for. It depends on what you're looking for in your school system and things like that. So definitely more questions to be able to properly answer that question. But thank you for asking. All right, we got a couple things over here. Let's see. FICO score makes it fairly predictable for you over there. In the UK, we don't have a universal score. It's all down to the individual lender's scorecard choices. So a lot more tense waiting acceptance. I didn't know that.
Wow, I didn't realize. I do try to ask people from other countries like how it works there, and it is kind of interesting how every different country works differently like that. But thanks for the insight.
That's really cool. Thanks so much, Jim. Does checking to see how much you can afford to purchase and not ready to move yet hurt your score? Oh, this is a good question. Can I start it and you can finish
go for it?
So we get this question a lot, and a lot of people push back on us. I'm not kidding. I've talked to 500 people that have said, I'm not moving for this many years. And I say, cool, you still need to talk to my friend Amber. Oh, we'll call her when we're closer. Nope, you still need to talk to my friend Amber. And I do that because I'm not sending them to talk to you to have you run their credit and get into the weeds of their business. I'm sending them to you to talk about their goals, where they currently stand, what their gut take is on their credit. You don't have to even run their credit to know, like, to put together a game plan for them. Am I right?
Well, I can put together a game plan that doesn't have to do with the credit. So, because a lot of times if you're looking to move in 5 years, then you have to do something with your job, right? So we need to work a game plan out there, or figure out if you want to do it second home or investment property. And so then you have down payment, game plan that you'd have to go through. If you need something on your credit and you know that there's an issue, I can give you a little bit of advice without looking at it, but I won't know for sure until I actually look at the credit.
And you can pull your free credits report once a year for free. I think it's freecreditreport.com or something that you can pull it once a year. It doesn't affect your number at all. But it's also important to keep in mind that the credit score that Amber uses is sometimes different, almost all the time different than the one that you see at Credit Karma and all these, and on your credit cards giving you your updates every month. It's different. So calling to talk to Amber and think about and really listen to what's important, because it's not always just down to the credit score. I promise you that. What are the important things that you need to pay attention to? What are the things that are going to hurt you? What are the things that are going to help you? That's going to take your mind off of that silly credit score and onto the things that are going to matter at the end of the day.
Yeah, because remember, we're looking at credit, income, and assets, and you're almost looking at that.
And job and your job history.
Well, yeah, and employment history for 2 years. And then one thing I wanted to mention about Credit Karma, because I get asked this question all the time, is a lot of people will call me and say, well, I pulled my credit report on whatever the free credit scores are. Like, you know, there's Credit Karma, there's freecreditreport.com, there's a lot of different ones, right? So they pull it on that. And then they're asking me, well, what about when you pull? So when I pull credit, it's a creditor. So remember, like with their rules that like all those online credit agencies have, when you pull credit, their scores are different because the way that they come up with their scores have different rules than what ours do. So when they say, don't pull your credit because it's going to hurt you, that's the only reason why you have credit, is to get credit extended to you. So it's when you pull your credit excessively, then it hurts you. But when you're looking at their rules and how they score, it's going to be different than how a creditor does.
It's a good point.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense.
Because I'm asked that all the time. Well, hard inquiry, but you have to pull credit in order to see if you qualify for a house. That's the only reason why you have credit.
Right. But checking to see, like, you're 5 years away, even 7 months away, like pulling your credit 7 months out from 7 months later is not going to make a huge difference to you buying a home. And also you're trying to save,
especially if you think you might have problems.
Right. You have to work those out. Right? I do know also when you're getting a mortgage loan, if it's all pulled within the same 30-day period, that it counts as the same type of inquiry, it all counts as one hit versus multiple. So
if it's pulled by like a mortgage company,
correct? Yeah, mortgage, the same type of inquiry,
because they're all categorized. So like if you're buying a house, a car, you're getting a credit card all at the same time, then the bureaus are going to put up all kinds of red flags because you're doing too much at the same time. Right. So that's when you get into some trouble. But if it's all categorized as mortgage because you're shopping a couple companies to see who can give you the best deal,
it's gonna be this one hit wonder.
Then it'll show as multiple hits, but as far as the impact on your credit, it's one hit within a certain period of time.
Right. And I don't even want to say hit, because you do need to have that conversation and pull those numbers in order to know where you stand. But I don't think that you're focusing too much on your credit score and not the other impactful things that are going to affect the score and affect the payment and affect the approval rate and all that stuff is much more important. So someone asked on Instagram, what about buying a new build with new builders? They're jacking up the prices. Or should you wait? I am not telling anybody to wait right now. The word wait should not be in your vocabulary, and it's not because I want to make money, and it's not because we're pushing you. It's because the longer you wait, the higher the prices are going to go. There is not going to be a moment to wait for. Waiting is just simply extending the trajectory that we're on. So waiting hurts you more than does anything right now. So yeah, the builders are jacking up the prices a little bit for a number of reasons. They also don't have much inventory. They're having supply chain issues.
And lumber is a problem.
Lumber's been an issue for back and forth. Appliances has been an issue. Some of the things that they need for just building the homes have been an issue. So it's definitely it's definitely important for you guys to just be aware of what you're getting into. We work a lot with new home builders, which is great. And we have a lot of really great relationships. So if there is something that's available that fits your needs, we're going to know about it. But we want to be able to weigh all options and help you understand the game. So if you're wanting only new build, we got to make a really concerted effort on that front. If you're open to both, then we kind of become a little bit more strategic. So great question. Thank you so much. Somebody said, Heaven Sent says, it's nice to see your serious side as well. Thank you. And for those of you on YouTube who aren't following me on Instagram and you want to see a little bit more of the quirky, real personality of Las Vegas Gal, well, follow me at Las Vegas Gal on Instagram, and you get to see me shaking my booty and doing crazy stuff. So lots of really good questions. I do love doing my dance videos. Thank you. And I do love the skating videos.
They make me smile.
Yeah. Thank you again, Heaven Sent. We really appreciate it. Somebody says, what about someone that has no debt?
Then great.
You're in good
The only
shape.
thing about no debt is that it depends on, like, sometimes that can take away your scores too. So you want to make sure you keep credit scores by even if you charge a card a month and then pay it off, then you're doing great.
Yeah,
you're
and that builds up your
But that
credit.
helps your debt ratio if you have no debt.
Yeah.
So
this person says, I've got to wait. Do you think the market will cool down later? I don't want to give you bad news, but no, I don't think the market's going to cool down for quite some time. And by cooling down, I don't know, whatever, often cooling down, what do you mean by that, right? Do you mean, will prices go down? No, I don't believe so. Will things slow down? Sure, I do think that that'll happen. Absolutely. I think things will kind of even out.
When is the question?
Not anytime soon.
I was listening to an economist yesterday, and they were saying that, by all reports that they're looking at, it doesn't look like we'll have anything. It doesn't look like we'll be looking at a slowdown where you're going to see for at least 18 to 24 months.
Yep. I was going to say 2 years is what I was going to say. Yeah. So I'm sorry to give you that news, but why are you waiting? If you have to wait, let's talk about why and see if there's a way that we can put a plan together for you so you can understand. Maybe I cannot say this enough. There are at least 30 times in the last year that people have said to me, I have to wait because of this, or I have to do this, or my credit's that. Like, there's a lot of assumptions made by people who think they know the full picture and scope of what's possible for them. And then when they call us and talk to you, because you're the wizard of loans, they're like,
thanks.
Oh my God, I had no idea I could buy. I'm so ready to buy right now. Oh my God. Like, so it's just been an incredible thing.
And it is amazing to see afterwards when they're like, I didn't think it was possible, and look at me now.
Yeah. There was a guy that walked up to us at our client pie party over Thanksgiving, was almost in tears and just like, I've been a renter my whole life and You said in one of your videos, just what's the harm in calling? I'm going to call, blah, blah, blah. He called and he said, I literally thought I was never going to be able to buy. And now I bought a house and I'm thinking about buying another one.
It's such an amazing experience.
It is
for us and for you.
Yeah. This says, are you saying if I wish to move from Europe to Vegas in about 5 years, I need to look at the credits now? But I have some properties in Denmark, sold before moving, or credit only if I need loans. We would love for you to get U.S. based credit going as soon as possible, right?
Yeah, when you're moving from out of the country, it's a little bit different because you'll have to establish in the U.S.
Yeah, so even like doing the secured credit card thing or signing up, I don't know what's available or what's allowed for people who aren't residents.
Well, then
of the
you'd
US,
have to establish a social security number first.
Right.
And then,
I don't even know.
Yeah. and then work on getting some credit cards.
Yeah. So we can certainly talk to you about that offline. There's a lot of nuances to that, but good point. I love all this stuff.
Great question.
Denmark, baby. I'm gonna come visit. Okay, let's go back up here and see if we've got anything over on YouTube. Kurt Johnson says, thanks for the info. I love Vegas and I hate when folks call Vegas Sin City when this whole world is full of sin. LOL. Hey, listen, it's not all bad sin, right? Sin city. Who cares? I love the city no matter what they call it. But
thanks for protecting our city.
We love you, Kurt, and we love that you love us so much. Hi there from Flushing, New York, formerly from South Orange, New Jersey. Hey, Jonathan, nice to see you. Carl Lucas has come on a few times. In Australia, he says the type of house is called the Queenslander, is built on stilts to avoid flooding and termites. And I've seen them in Florida. They have them in Florida. And
I've seen them in different places. They just don't build them here.
Is it South Carolina
as much? Or like if you're off the side of a mountain, but we don't have a lot built on a mountain like that since we're kind of in a valley.
Monolithic post-tension slabs. Thank you, Matt. I could not think of the words earlier. That our homes are built on post-tension slabs, which are a different experience than a lot of other places in the world. I could not think of the word. I was like, it's post something. Thank you so much. Dylan says, I learned so much from your show. You too, Rock. Keep up the positive show and the info. Dylan and Florida.
Thanks, Dylan.
We love you. Post tension. Thank you, Michael Markowitz. Thanks Michael,
for having
we
our
miss
back,
you,
Michael.
damn it. And he was our resident new homes expert. How How do you think that will affect the housing market in 15 months? What will affect the housing market? Anything and everything that I'm talking about right now is affecting the housing market in 15 months. But give me some more information, Matt. I'll do my best to answer. Jim says lots of UK lenders also use internal scoring for those who are already customers. So if you have bad credit with their other lenders, but as long as you've been good with them, you're okay. That's good to know. So for anybody in the UK that wants to know how to get a loan, our buddy here, Jim West, is clearly an expert, and you should check out the comments here on the YouTube channel. Let's see. Kaiser says news came out today that the mortgage applications dropped to the lowest level in over 2 years. Something to watch. I think that goes.
That has to do with refis.
Yes, that goes along with refis and also employment changes of status and things, right?
So if you notice, if you look at all those stats, purchases are doing really good. In fact, they're up right now. Refis, because remember last year at this time and the year before right now, the rates were at record lows. Like that's when twos was actually a possibility.
So everyone
and
I
didn't think, so applications are going to be lower because people can't refinance anymore and save on their payment. They're refinancing for different reasons, to take cash out, or if you get a divorce and you have to split your assets or, things like that. They're not refinancing to lower their payment. Everybody that owned a house in the past was refinancing to lower their payment. So mortgage applications are going to be down for probably the next year, because rates are higher than they were last year.
Wizard of loans.
But great job watching, the market and stuff like that.
I love when our followers are so educated and they bring us new information. Plus, it makes me so happy.
Plus, like sometimes they stump us and we're like, I gotta go look this up and make sure that I know. One thing that if you're watching the market on mortgage applications, watch the purchase applications, because that's what's driving the market and the housing industry up. Just the applications are refi and purchase.
Love that. I love that you're the Wizard of Loans, but you don't look like remember the guy that Mr. Wizard on Nickelodeon? Did you watch that?
What, you mean the messed up hair?
Yeah, well, he was like bald and old and like so gross. So I love that you don't look like the Wizard.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't look like that either.
Look like a wizard. You've definitely stepped up the wizard game in this field. So thank you, my love.
Thank you.
Got somebody here says they're doing a cash out refi to remodel. Very smart decision. That's awesome, because as the prices of the homes are going up, people are doing exactly the same thing. So when you do sell, you want to be competitive and you want the house to be in the best shape possible. And why not enjoy it while you're still living there?
Make it your place that you love being.
I love that. Okay, let's check a couple more questions here and then we're going to pop off for today. We just wanted to say thank you guys for joining us before we get on to these last couple questions. And we love doing this. If you're enjoying it, please do us a favor and if you're on YouTube, go over to Instagram and follow both Amber Coleman and I. If you're on Instagram, please go to our YouTubes and subscribe. We need it. We need the love. We need everybody and their mom to be hearing what we're saying.
Thank you.
And we do a lot of work to put these videos out. So please show us some love. Mama's tired. Let's see. Jim West says, I still consider Laci to be the slingshot driving gal with Jacob at that time. I did. I had a friend let me borrow
what was that about?
Over the summer. Anybody who watched Jacob's Life in Vegas, my sweet friend Jacob, Jacob, of course. Over the last summer, a friend of mine let me borrow their slingshot. You know what that is, right? They drive like a Mario Kart. It's like super fun. And I went and picked him up. It was the day that the city reopened. So we were downtown. We were both going live. It was super fun. And then we got in the car and I showed him that I had a lead foot and we had a good time on the streets of Las Vegas when nobody was out. So nobody got hurt and I don't want to hear anything about it. So I seriously was like waiting for like major stars and clouds and like the turtle shell to be dun, 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 like coming at me like avoiding them all. Oh my God, it was so fun. I need to do that again before it gets too hot.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Thank you, Jim, for watching what we do and for being such a part of our community here. Matt's a good question, actually. He says, do you recommend any good companies to work for here in Vegas?
Well, it depends on what you do.
I would say, so we're a gaming and entertainment city, right? So, and I've worked for almost all of the gaming and entertainment companies. So I would say, Station Casinos is a great local company. They've been around almost 50 years. They are the people who run all of the casinos, the local casinos off the strip. You've got MGM Resorts is a major organization here in Las Vegas. I know a lot of people really love their job and do well there. Google's here now. We got Amazon's here now. I mean, there's a lot. Go ahead.
Yeah, I tend to love Wynn because they took such good care of their employees.
Totally forgot about that. Yeah, Wynn. Did you guys even know that they did?
Wynn took such good care of their employees. Wynn and Venetian were very good at taking.
They kept paying people even though they weren't working.
I'm doing something on the strip. I'm trying to do in those places because
I've been hanging out at the Wynn quite a bit lately. Yeah,
they were really good to their people.
I totally forgot about that. Good point. Good question, Matt. Okay, one last question here, and then we're going to hop off. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us. Please give us some love, like, share, comment. You know how we do all this, right? It says 16,000 new builds. How would that affect the market? I assume I'd have to pull migration report to see how the inventory will look. Matt, you are a wizard of stats and data.
We
And
love
I
your
really want to
stats.
hire you, and I've got to figure out how to do that. 16,000 new builds, how would that affect the market? 16,000 new builds is a drop in the bucket to what we've been doing over the last
That's
few
why
years.
there's
That's
low
actually
inventory.
down. Yeah.
We needed there to be more.
Yeah, we need there to be
builds.
probably double that right now to even sort of feel like an impact of what that would look like. So being that it's a lower number right now, I mean, it's just feeding into the conversation we've been having all along, which is that, we definitely are, we're definitely
needing more inventory.
We're struggling.
I've seen stats too, like when inventory was super high, like before the downturn, and then it went lower, but then the amount of people that can buy is now at like a peak level. So that kind of feeds into, why we're having these inventory problems right now.
It's tough. But it's not it's not a dark, sad, gloomy day, right? There's always opportunity. There's always strategy.
Keep your mind open.
Seriously,
you can do whatever
it's still possible,
think, right?
Yeah. So give us a call if you're interested. We do have in my DM. You can send me a DM. You can click the link in my bio on Instagram, and then of course, you guys, my friends, in the description of this video, you can find a link. You can text me. You can text me now. You can send me an email. You can also fill out the form and let us know that you came through this beautiful live feed. I want to thank you all again. We love you so, so much. And we're going to keep fun dance videos coming. We're going to be doing our dining out series again.
I do love the dance videos.
I do too. I like the food videos.
I don't know if I like being in them, but I like watching you dance.
Well, I'll dance for you any day, but you are pretty fun to dance with. We're going to do the dining out series again. I've had multiple requests, Amber, so stop avoiding my date nights with you and start saying yes.
Let's do it.
So stay tuned for more from Amber and I, from both on YouTube as well as on Instagram. We love you guys. It's a new year, and we're just getting started. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Oh, someone over here says I was in Vegas 2 weeks ago, Laci. We should have gotten a drink. Chris, what's going on, man? Send me a DM. Let's go. I'm available. Single, ready to mingle. Let's do this, people. Thank you again, guys. We'll see you next time, and I'm gonna end it on YouTube. Bye bye. And then our beautiful